This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local. It's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Proetti along with Nick Proetti. Our program is being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. Perfect day, Thursday, to grab a six-pack at a pound or their 3 for $5 tacos. Don't forget every Tuesday's Taco Tuesday. Why are you shaking your head, knucklehead?
What are you doing over there?
I'm looking in the book here real quick. And also, too, I can multitask, and then we
No,
want to
you
remind you
can't,
they have
because
their loaded potato olays always at Taco John's of Cheyenne.
Can I
Jolly
remind you,
Roger-
Wyoming Stampede? Yeah, you can multitask yesterday. Cheyenne Stampede?
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, you can do it during a break.
Read the list here,
You can do that during a break and focus.
We also want to thank Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. Sorry for the interruption from somebody that has no clue about our sponsors. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30, where they're having a hail of a sale going on. You Jayco lovers, you're going to love some great additional savings on Jayco fifth wheels, RVs, and travel trailers on Highway 30. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range. Ray and Sidney Bedford invites you to come on by for 3 squares. Now, Inkle breakfast each Monday through Saturday. Delicious breakfast served up. Nice hot cup of coffee. 2 convenient drive-thrus for you. Chick-fil-A of Cheyenne, right across from Menards, corner of Windmill, Del Range. We also have Key of Cheyenne, where we've been hearing AJ talk about the 19s are rolling in. That means the 18s need to drive on out and hopefully into your driveway. So some sensational savings right now can be found at Key of Cheyenne. See the great staff over there today and test drive one of their fantastic models to go home with. Platte Valley Bank. 2 locations. You will find Rick and the great crew over on Vanda High, the original location. Of course, they have the east side location for you right there at the corner of College and Pershing. Banking done the old-fashioned way. Customer service. You and me always in their minds Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, they're closed. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs with your doctor's prescription. Check out what Gene, the great staff, have for you over on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Oh, by the way, they have a convenient drive-through as well. Lennox Auto Body, 2 locations, the main auto and truck repair center on Dunn Avenue and the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, where you can bank Monday through Friday. And again, talk to them about their special CD rates going on right now. Mondello's Pizzeria, the best Italian pie around. And again, this is not corporate, folks. This is family-owned and family-operated. Paisan cuisine at its best. Sandwiches, pastas, calzones. This is family recipes. And again, the pizza is ranked top 10 in the nation by our friends at the Food Network, so they know something that we definitely already knew. The pizza is the best over at Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. At 1515 Logan Avenue, don't forget, it's Mars Plumbing and Heating, where they remind you, get those heating units checked right now. We're getting a little taste of fall/winter, so be ready for when old man winter starts blowing that cold air into your home, that you got the heating unit all fixed up. And we start things off with our scoreboard, which is brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
NHL action for tonight, and there will be quite a bit of it. We'll start with the Edmonton Oilers at Boston, taking on the Bruins at the TD Garden. That game will get underway at 5 o'clock tonight. Also, too, at 5 over on Altitude Network, you can see Colorado Avalanche taking on the Buffalo Sabres. That game will be at KeyBank Center. Florida Panthers hosting the Columbus Blue Jackets at BB&T Center. New Jersey Devils hosting the Washington Capitals. Also, too, the San Jose Sharks traveling to Madison Square Garden to take on the New York Rangers. Pittsburgh Penguins at home. They will host the Vegas Golden Knights. LA Kings in Montreal taking on the Canadiens at the Central Bell Center. That game will get underway at 5:30. The Detroit Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs. Vancouver Canucks at Tampa Bay taking on the Lightning. St. Louis Blues will host the Calgary Flames. Winnipeg Jets in Bridgestone taking on the Nashville Predators. And last but not least, the Minnesota Wild hosting the Chicago Blackhawks there at Xcel Energy Center.
The only thing I have is from the National Football League tonight in the Meadowlands. It will be the New York Giants, 1-4, taking on the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. That will kick off at around 6:20 Mountain Time and can be seen on Fox. Whoopie doopie. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
This is the Pepsi that's got a date with your taste buds. We're talking 1,000 bubbles dancing a two-step with you and 2 tacos at 2 a.m.
Order number 83? Come on, you're up!
This is the Pepsi that has mastered the art of the late-night munchies and is always down to dig into some deep dish.
Hey, we don't do deep dish, capiche?
Try telling that to Chicago. This is the Pepsi for po' boys, pulled pork sliders, and the godfather of all sandwiches, the Godfather. This is the Pepsi for street carts, anything a la carte, and is dying to make the leap into your grocery cart. Come on, take us home with you. This is the Pepsi for those who are forever fun. This is the Pepsi for every generation.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome to the Thursday afternoon edition of Wyoming Sports Talk Today. No Sports Talk Today tomorrow, as we will be over at South High for the Fighting Bison and the now Campbell County Camels of Gillette. The first
What do you mean? They've been
Campbell County. We used to call them the Gillette Camels, and then everyone's saying, well, you got to call them Campbell County. It's like, no, you guys are the Gillette Camels.
They've always been Campbell County.
Now there's 2 high schools, so they are officially now known as Campbell County High
They were officially known as it last year.
They also have been called the Gillette Camels.
Thunder Basin.
Thunder Basin was last year.
Yeah, so
again,
2 years. So who cares? Campbell County. How hard is it to remember
the former Gillette Camels, now the Campbell County Camels. All right, so we will have that game for you. Kickoff's about 6 o'clock. Speaking of which, today is high school football day, where we have a chance to catch up with athletic director at Cheyenne South, Mark Puev. We also will hear from Dan Gallas, the head coach at Cheyenne South. We'll also hear comments from Campbell's head coach, Micah Christensen, as they get ready to make the long trek here to Cheyenne and face off with the South High Fighting Bison. Again, really what is at stake tomorrow night is still a shot at the playoffs.
Even for Campbell County, that has no wins at this point in time. Yeah. But again, it's for Cheyenne South, I would say absolutely it is a must-win. Obviously, again, if for whatever reason Central is to take care of business on the road at Casper Natrona, which it doesn't seem like it will.
Highly doubtful.
There are stats that say otherwise, however, but there's a little interesting factoid about that game. But again, where we will have the final game of the regular season at South, between Central and South, both teams coming in with at least potentially 2 wins. Again, I think South in this contest, they'll get a little fight out of Campbell County, but I think South should take care of business at home. Nothing tells me that Cheyenne South should lose this game coming up Friday. But so again, say if the positive goes for Cheyenne South's way, they move to 2 wins. Central has a little difficulty taking care of Natrona, which is a possibility. Both teams meet up for the last game of the regular season at 2 wins. Again, the winner of that contest is going to be, at least in my
the 8th seed.
8th seed going into that, so we have that chance to get into playoff at least contention. So this contest for Cheyenne South means a lot.
Actually, let me rephrase that too. Since that South, let's play the win-loss game. Say South defeats Central, they actually go in the 7th seed because they beat Rock Springs.
Rock Springs has more wins though? I do believe they have 3 wins,
okay,
and Kelly Walsh has 2.
Let's say they don't win the rest of the way. That's what I'm saying. Well, either way.
I guess, yeah.
Either way.
They have 3 and then the head-to-head, so yeah, possibly.
There's a very good possibility. At least number 7 seed worst case scenario for.
But it's
for
still
South High.
it's essentially again where we meet up in that last contest though between South and Central. It is going to possibly be loser in, loser out, but also too it might get a little muddled as well too with Central seeing what happens with Kelly Walsh, because Kelly Walsh also too does have 2 wins. They are 2-5 currently. They also have lost at least the quote-unquote tiebreaker because they did lose to Central, 2 weeks ago.
Were they beaten South? Then also, too, you look at it, they got Thunder Basin this weekend. Let's be real. Really, they're going to be 2-6 after this weekend.
Yeah. Well, we'll go through the rest of at least the Class 4A.
We'll have Mark Puev coming up after the break. But first, this news out of UW today. And, again, he was – believe it or not, this guy was, as a freshman last year, was the Cowboys' leading rusher.
Well, in that trial by committee, again, where Trey Woods was.
Yeah, but he had 493 yards rushing last season.
He was that shining star where, again, the running back, at least I wouldn't even say controversy, but, again, the whole hubbubaloo that was last year of trying to figure out who was going to run.
Who was going to replace
He
Brian
was the
Hill,
kind of shining star. He was the one that took over at least.
At 6'3", no less.
Yeah, he was
and
a big
freshman.
guy.
So 6'3", 220-pounder Trey Woods, sophomore, who made the move from running back to defensive end, decided to leave the Wyoming football program today, according to head coach Craig Bull. And, this is basically what happened. Coach Bull says, we wish Trey all the best in his future, and we appreciate all his contributions to our football program in the past 2 years. Nothing more is said. That's it.
Not going to speculate on anything, but, again, it is a loss for the Wyoming Cowboys.
It was Woods' decision to leave the program.
Yeah, it was his decision. So, again, not a good thing for this Wyoming Cowboy team where, again, it's already negative news around that football program, but, again, another knock.
I think the entire state right now is kind of negative on the Wyoming Cowboy football program. It's not just here in Cheyenne. It's in Laramie. It's in Casper. It's in Sheridan. It's out in Green River.
Well, it was kind of funny that at least a few other media outlets are now starting to at least talk or at least say what we've been saying for quite some time about this team. They actually have the backbone to do it now of, hey, this team is in a world of hurt. This team is struggling right now. This team has a lot of problems that need to be addressed here and now. Or, again, the season is already in a tailspin. Can the Cowboys turn it around coming up this Saturday against Fresno State? I really don't think.
Here's the deal. We're halfway through the season, and now, and again, the key words, if you remember the press conference that we had the other day, that Coach Bull is going to open up the playbook. Well,
why did you do that game one?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Why not? Again, why? Even when we talk with
Tyler Vanderwall.
Well, no, not even Tyler Vanderwall, but Kevin McKinney. When we've had him on our show a couple of times, I do believe after the Wofford contest, he said, "Look for Wyoming to open up more of the playbook for at least one Tyler Vanderwall." It's like, why not just do that? If you had the confidence, where again you had Nick Smith, you have these
entities,
these other entities that you decided not to go with this season. You went with the redshirt freshman. Hey, understand he is the underclassman here and he needs to learn, but why wouldn't you just have the open playbook from day one? He is your guy. Let him have full assets. He understands.
Let me tell you to read between the lines.
Even when we talk to him, he understands it.
Yeah,
he understands the playbook.
But again, too, here's the deal. With Craig Bull mentioning that to the media, and then we replay it here on KRAE, when he says we're going to open the playbook, basically he's making excuses that his offense sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking the 11 guys on the field. His offensive playbook sucks.
Oh yeah.
And again, what are you going?
And again, we're like a broken.
I know,
record.
but what are you going to do that's going to be different this week? We already know that Nico Evans can run. We already know that.
Oh yeah.
We know that Tyler Vanderwall can throw the football. We know
he does. He can throw, and he can throw it far, but he does have accuracy issues. I'll give him that.
And we do know that he's got some guys, receivers, that can catch the football.
You have your receiving core that's, for the most part, fully recovered and healthy.
And you have an offensive line that's fairly decent. Obviously, they got to be pretty good.
They got to be good if they're giving these holes.
Nico Evans is rushing for 192 yards.
If they're opening wide spaces for that. So, I don't. The excuse of opening up the playbook is just it's
and I'm glad you can open up the playbook for Fresno, but you understand this.
Why didn't you open it at home against Boise? Why didn't you open it against Washington State? Why?
Yeah. Why wait?
Yeah.
Why wait when you're 2-4 and 0-2 in the Mountain West Conference?
Yeah.
Why wait?
Yeah, where essentially your backs are against the wall.
And here's the other thing that really ticked me off about that statement by this $1 million coach. We gave tickets to go see Washington State, or those out there paid $95 to see the Cougars come to town.
95
$95. 95.
Either way, it's
and it was $75 to see Boise State.
All right.
Per ticket to watch a very, very weak and very bland offense.
Yeah.
So you didn't open up the playbook during 2 games where you had 51,000 people there in the 2 games. So now, all of a sudden, now we're going to believe you that your playbook is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Give me a break.
His playbook hasn't been great since.
And your offense coordinator.
If anything, and again, possibly
your offensive coordinator can't even call long distance.
If you let me talk, but again, if anything, what I've been studying the numbers and just studying the years under Craig Bohl with this Wyoming Cowboys team, it tells you, again, if he's running the same offense, again, this offense where it's been here the whole time, I don't think it's ever changed. Again, you can attest to that. There's been years, those early years of Craig Bohl, I wasn't here, so I don't know if it's changed or if it's been anything the same. Can you attest to that?
The offense is the same.
I'm just saying, though, again, with that being said, though, again, if you look at his record, his overall record, it's worse than the 2 previous head coaches. And, again, the successful years, I think you give more credit to Josh Allen of what talent he was. I think, if anything, it's kind of like, look what he himself, Josh Allen, dealt with. He had to basically he had to maneuver through the muck and the mud that was this terrible offensive play calling by the Wyoming Cowboys, ad-libbed it as he does, and basically took it under his own wing and just had to do everything on his own. I think, if anything, that goes credit to Josh Allen of what he did and how he made it successful. Now, with other entities, though, it has not been successful. Again, do we have these talents, at least at the quarterback position? Again, Josh Allen is Josh Allen. There's only one of a kind. There's only one Josh Allen, and we can't replicate that. But right now for the Wyoming Cowboys, it's a situation where you could say all these buzzwords and all these buzz phrases of opening up the playbook and opening this and that. But again, for 5 years, this playbook, even if it's open, if it's closed, hasn't mounted to a sub 500 record overall for Craig Bohl in this staff.
Well, why don't we just say it like it is? The cavalry is coming.
I'll say it like it is. No, things need to change.
The cavalry is coming. The cavalry.
What cavalry?
The cavalry is now the playbook. We're going to open up the playbook.
The cavalry's practically on retreat right now.
So that's what we're going to. Again, we are. And you,
I don't think the playbook needs to change. Other entities need to change.
Absolutely, and one would be your offensive coordinator. He sucks.
Yeah,
lose him. But if you lose him, you're going to have to lose the head coach because they've been together for a long time.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to accept one with the other, then that's the way I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Again, you're going to open the playbook. To what? What are you going to show me? What are you going to show me?
Again, maybe slant patterns into the middle of the field this time around? I don't know.
Like quick slants like Montana to Rice? Great, terrific.
If you're going to do that, might as well just convert over to a West Coast offense. Are you going to throw me? Are you
going to throw me more to the tight end down the seam? Hey, great, terrific.
Yeah.
But what can you possibly show me? And now you're going to play even better teams.
You're going to play a very stingy.
You're going to play Fresno State, followed by Utah State. You're going to tell me by opening the playbook that's going to make things a lot different?
No.
I'll give you.
It's not going to do anything.
You know what? I'm tired of excuses. And that's what we've been getting from UW. And you've even said it here on this program.
Mm-hmm.
You roll your eyes every time we have Vance Joseph on because Vance Joseph takes the blame for everything. So,
if anything, I give Vance Joseph the credit because, again, he is that captain of that ship. And, again, as it's sinking down, he goes, hey, it's on me. I'll sink with the ship. It's my fault. Now, other entities, again, whether Craig Bohl is going to say something like that, he kind of words it in a way kind of wrapped around maybe that. But it's a situation where hey, Craig Bull, fortunately, man, you gotta take blame for this. Again, you had 2 successful years with, again, arguably one of the best quarterbacks in Wyoming's history, if at all. Again, a special talent that comes by once in a lifetime, it seems, in this university's history. We can't argue that. But outside of that, when you've had other entities a part of this program, again, I think it's 8-25, 8-24, something like that of overall record without a Josh Allen. That's unacceptable.
It's pretty sad. So, here's the deal. Open up the playbook, do what you got to do, but you still are facing Fresno State. It's not like you're facing Sisters of the Poor, and you're not taking on the Wofford Terrier.
There'll be interesting factoids as well too about that game coming up when we have our week.
Speaking of which, why didn't we open up the playbook for Wofford? Why were we?
I don't know.
Kind of conservative there.
Because Wofford played well, and they're a top-ranked team in the FCS, and we have to give them respect. And I again, right now at this point in time, as much as we're not even required to play those press conferences from Craig Bull, it's just more so to just for the audience to listen into it again, just kind of create this discussion. But right now, it is, as you mentioned again, with these excuses, it's getting a little tiring, a little old.
Yeah,
things need to, again, right now it's Take initiative. Change it for the better.
Well, there it is.
Right now, it's
again,
not.
I go back to you and we say, hey, it's we're going to open up the playbook. And that's what he just said.
What, you add one play? Is that what we're doing?
No.
Maybe get Tyler Vanderwall one extra throw?
And correct me if I'm wrong. We talked with Tyler. Didn't he say there was about 300 plays that were involved in the Wyoming Cowboy
playbook? I
play?
don't know. I'd have to go back to that interview.
I think it was something like that. He had to know
well, it's
at least
something
300
extensive.
plays. All right, we're going to take a timeout. And we'll, again, to let you know that Trey Woods, the sophomore defensive end who switched over from running back this season, has left the football program.
Again,
nothing more is being said about
it. Circumstances we do not understand, but again, he is no longer a part of the program.
And we wish him all the best. And I do believe, and I might be wrong, but I do believe if you leave the football program that you are required to sit out a year. I think there's
probably
what happens.
I guarantee there's probably workarounds in the NCAA.
I think if you quit and you move on to another
I wouldn't say he quit. There could be reasons of why.
Well,
I'm not going to say that.
It says he left the program. So with him leaving the program means he'll have to sit a year. He will lose.
Yeah. We'll see about that. Again, the NCAA, there's probably workarounds. There's probably ways you can get past that, because again, we've seen how the NCAA kind of operates.
No, Nick, you're not following the protocol. He left the program. He's out.
Hey, I'm like every other entity right now in the NCAA that wants to do whatever they want.
All right, I'm just letting you know. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. Mark Puev is on deck. He will chat with us here on 1480 KRAE.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
All right, good half of football, boys. Now, good is good, but we can always be better. Look at Taco John's. They took those tasty little potato lays and loaded them up with bacon and ranch and all kinds of good stuff. They made something good even better.
Taco John's new loaded potato olays are loaded with craveable toppings for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even dessert.
So olay the day, boys, and play like you're making loaded potato lays.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
For 56 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Also with KYY FM, we are Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM/FM combo radio stations. Add that to the addition of 3 FM radio translators to serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYY, and that equals a lot of bang for your local advertising dollar. Radio, yesterday and today, still works. For more information, contact Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com. Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly cloudy with highs around 44. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 29. On Friday, it'll be sunny with highs around 55 with winds out the west at 10 to 15. And on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 35.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ball game.
Let's play ball!
You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
It's time now for our athletic director's report as we check in with South High Athletic Director Mark Puev. Mark, as we wind down here in the fall sports, and again, we still have football and volleyball action still to come, including our game tonight against Campbell County, but also volleyball is still first and foremost, too, at South High.
Yeah, we're going up north against Sheridan and Trona here this weekend, and you know what? I think we've been improving. I looked at some of the scores, and we haven't won a lot. We've done a lot better in the tournaments recently, and we're just looking forward to this week and a half that we can hopefully get a few in here and maybe have some success.
Mark, you mentioned, we haven't won a lot lately. And again, we look at the football program. They've got one win, hopefully two against Campbell County. And you never know what will happen against Cheyenne Central next week and a possibility of qualifying for the playoffs. When wins are few, and again, we know South High has been going through the bug and got some injuries and all that. But when times are a little tough, you as the athletic director, how do you go about talking to the kids or the coaches to keep their chins up?
I'm fortunate that in football I have a coach that's been around for a little bit longer than I have. So the conversations that we have are, there's not a lot of X's and O's that going on. It's more about kids and character and the quality of what you're doing and seeing the improvement. And it's exactly what you said, different ways to keep kids positive on those cold days in practices, on those tough nights on Friday night when you may not have done so good. So those are the conversations we have with them. The same, my volleyball coach, I love her to death. She's been around for a while, and you know what? Same things. She bounces things off me all the time, and you know what? 99 times out of 100, when I give her a suggestion, she's already tried it. But you know what? It's just nice to hear somebody kind of reaffirm what you're doing and that you are going down the right way. What do I do for them? Whatever I need to. You know what? If they need me to pull a kid aside and talk to him, I'll do it. I got time to do that in the daytime where they're in the classroom. So it basically goes that there's a jack of all trade, master of none, and I think that's part of the description of an athletic director is you just kind of do what your coaches need you to do, and you're there for them and the kids.
I look back in the day, our days of playing, and, we were jocks. Now today, correct me if I'm wrong, our student athletes are looked a little bit more for their leadership abilities than just being an athlete and playing sports at South High.
Yeah, and it's not just the South High. I don't know if it's the generational type thing, but yeah, I've seen a bunch of kids say that I'm just a football player, just a basketball player, just a volleyball player, just a soccer player, and it just strikes me as weird because you know what, you're an athlete. And athletes, the way you learn to compete is by competing. And you don't compete for 3 months out of the year and take 9 months to train and do other things. And again, we're talking about, we're the old guys screaming, "Get off my lawn" right now, but it is. I did football, basketball, track through high school, and it was just you had about a week in between each one, and then in the summertime you lifted and you did some stuff. They didn't have the camps and stuff that they do nowadays, but you still did some things, some team things with those teams that you were affiliated with. So my deal is, I just had a couple of conversations with kids this morning. Just, what are you doing this winter? I'm thinking about going basketball. Let's not think about it. Let's do it. What are you doing in the spring? Track or soccer? I don't care which. Do one of them. Learn how to compete year-round, and it'll make you a better athlete. So those are some of the conversations that we have around here.
As an athletic director and talking with your counterparts, Jerry and Chad, throughout the course of the year, I look at we're about done with the fall season. Then we got to start looking ahead towards winter sports. And again, Mother Nature, it's more of a crapshoot. We don't know what she's going to provide when our basketball teams are out or our wrestling teams are out on the road. You, as the athletic director, do you have the original plan, we're going to be here, and is there always a contingency plan because of weather? Or, again, with all the technology today, you guys are always up to date on, hey, we're not going to send the basketball team to this tournament because it looks like 4 days of Mother Nature going crazy.
Yeah, Plan A is the schedule. Plan B is the reactionary or the predicted reaction to what is happening or what's going to happen. We have... I've had the nice thing about Cheyenne is we do have 3 schools, and you do have 3 athletic directors that are looking at constant variables. I've had one of the other guys call both of us and say, hey, I'm not sending my swim team here because this is what's happening, and we follow suit. I've called one of the other ones that was at a lower level basketball tournament and said, hey, I'm pulling my team out of there because it's bad and it's getting worse. And he did the same thing. So the one good thing we have is each other, and the other good thing is we communicate constantly so that we're not leaving somebody out hanging out to dry. So that 2 schools decide not to go and the 3rd school does go, that looks really bad if something happens. So we are on a constant, we are on the same page on a lot of things. You think, well, they're competing. So, yeah, we are competing, and on game day we want to whip each other. But you know what? The other 364 days out of the year, we want to make sure that we're looking out for each other, and that means all of Cheyenne.
And final thought, we're going to wrap it up here with football. Campbell County Camels coming to town. South High started out really slow, started to build momentum. Matter of fact, when I watched you against Cheyenne East, I said, wow, this team's got a lot of potential. Then you go to Rock Springs and pick up a win. Sickness, injuries befell the team a little bit. But as you look at the schedule with Campbell County coming to town and the wrap-up with Cheyenne Central, bottom line is this squad still has a shot at getting into the 4A playoffs.
Yeah, and like I said, last week we had a tough one against Laramie. We were in it until just before halftime. We gave up a big play, and that was pretty deflating. And, they hung in there and whatnot. But, that's the thing that you remind the kids, remind the coaches, remind the program that, shoot, you still got your goals for the year are still intact. Sad as it might be, but we kind of still control our own destiny. And that's not saying that we will do this or will do that, but we control our own destiny. And if you take care of business, then that just unfolds before you. So the door hasn't closed on the playoffs yet, but we got to take care of our business to do anything.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy, we'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Did you know High West Energy has been serving residents of Laramie County for 75 years? Based in Pine Bluffs, High West Energy is an electric co-op proudly serving 10,000 customers in 3 states, including 20 subdivisions surrounding Cheyenne and F.E. Warren Air Force Base. We're owned by our customers who share in the profits and have a voice in ensuring that we maintain high standards while keeping electricity costs low. Keeping energy affordable for 75 years. HighWestEnergy.com.
A Touchstone Energy partner.
You can see it all around Wyoming, what John Barrasso is accomplishing for our state. John fought hard for the biggest tax cuts in a generation, and he delivered. Tax cuts that mean Wyoming families are keeping more of their hard-earned money. John made strengthening Wyoming's water infrastructure a top priority with legislation that will reduce the threat of devastating floods, increase critical water storage, and finish, fix, or replace the irrigation projects our farmers and ranchers use to feed America and the world. And when Congress stole mining royalties from the people of Wyoming, John led our delegation to take back the hundreds of millions of dollars we were owed, money that helps fund important Wyoming priorities and our communities. John Barrasso, real accomplishments for all of Wyoming.
I'm John Barrasso, and I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of John Barrasso. BarrassoForWyoming.com.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Right now we're talking with Fighting Bison head coach Dan Gallas. And Coach, last time that we had the opportunity to carry South High was against the East High Thunderbirds. And again, I came away, even though the ball game was an L in the column for the Bison, I came away very impressed with this ball club. You go to Rock Springs the next week, you beat the Tigers, and then, of course, the injury bug along with the cold bug also befell the ball club. So real quick, how's things with the club as we get ready for the Campbell County Camels?
Well, I would have to say, yeah, we were impressed with the way that we played against East, not in a way that it astonished us, but we were pleased more than impressed, I suppose is a better word. We played well for part of the game, and then we got away from what we do well, and things got away from us. We were able to go over to the other side of the state and play Rock Springs and play them in a tough environment for their homecoming, and we were able to get a victory there, even after we had an injury to our quarterback, and we replaced him with a senior, and we were able to get the victory. Then against Sheridan, we just I think we felt like we were overwhelmed. That's the way I view it anyway. They're a very good football program, and they continue to demonstrate that, and we've got to find a way to make sure our kids believe in themselves no matter who the opponent is. And then last week we were pretty much very disappointed, I suppose is the best words, against Laramie. We really thought we had a chance in that game, and it turned sour on us. So we're really looking forward to getting back on the field this week and playing a Campbell County program that has a lot of pride in their program. They've won so many accolades over the years, and I know they're not as good as they once were, but there's pride there, and those kids are going to come to play.
You know, Coach, and I'm not going to play the Jim Moore clip of playoffs, but, you know, let's be real. We got 2 weeks left in this season, and the playoff picture still sits very well for the South High Fighting Bison. A win Friday against the Campbell County Camels, and then you look ahead next week to Cheyenne Central. I know you play them one at a time, but, again, postseason play still in the offing.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and that has been a small topic of conversation. We try to do our best to just focus on one game at a time and you know, play as well as we can for that week. We want to keep our optimism up, so we've talked about it briefly, but we want to really focus on this week, that's for sure.
You know, Coach, you've been in this business a long time. You've had the good and the bad. And when you are in a struggling season or a growing season, for example, this year with the Fighting Bison, you also have to become not just a coach, but a teacher and continue to teach the young men to come back and be fighters every week. What are you seeing out of this group of kids as they come to practice each and every week?
Well, I see that they have a lot of resolve, and that's a good thing to have. I mean, you know as well as I do, Larry, you don't have great days all the time, and neither do I, and life is that way. And if we can teach them life lessons through this, that they have to get up out of bed, put their face in the wind, and keep on going and get better each time that they have that opportunity, I think we've achieved a great deal, and we want to continue to work in that regard. Sure, we want to win. Sure, we want to play well. But at the same time, we want to learn from our mistakes and make ourselves a better person, so that when these guys become men, husbands, fathers, that they have that type of resolve in them.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Wyoming Army National Guard. Aired by the Wyoming Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hunting season is here, and Rocky Mountain Gun Trader, 2470 Delrange Boulevard is the best place to go for guns and ammo to bag that prize elk, pheasant, or goose. Family owned, with an outstanding array of rifles and shotguns at amazing prices, Rocky Mountain Gun Trader also has handguns, holsters, and ammo for your defensive needs. So follow your call to the wild. To Rocky Mountain Gun Trader, 2470 Delrange Boulevard, Cheyenne.
The next time you have a craving for authentic Mexican cuisine, visit Guadalajara at 1745 Delrange Boulevard. Locally owned and operated, they serve their dishes with family tried and true recipes with the freshest of ingredients, made to order. Start off your meal with their complimentary chips, salsa, and bean dip. And if you're feeling adventurous, enjoy your favorite margarita or cerveza. Guadalajara, where the spice is always nice.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly cloudy with highs around 44. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 29. On Friday, it'll be sunny with highs around 55 with the winds out the west at 10 to 15. And on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 35.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Right now we're talking to Campbell County Campbell's head coach, Micah Christensen. And Coach, as you prepare for the game against the South High Fighting Bison, let's take a look back at the season to date. And again, you've been through the good times, and again, the tough times are now upon the Campbell's program. But I'm hoping, like most coaches, you can see the forest through the trees.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some improvement this year, and the kids have been in some games where they weren't in that position last year, and now it's just getting them over that hump and making them believe that they can do it, and then playing an entire game and eliminating all the little things that are keeping us from getting over that hump at this time.
You know, as a coach, and almost too, you have to be the teacher as well in this situation. What keeps that motivation for these kids to keep coming back week after week and know that it's almost there for them?
Right. And anytime you've got a streak like they've got, and a lot of these kids haven't seen success yet. They haven't been a part of the program of the past, and that's just something we have to do as coaches, and we try to keep them motivated in practice. And they're a gritty group, they're a tough group, and we haven't seen a lot of attrition, and the kids come to work every week and work hard, and are doing a good job of that. But like I said, I think it's just our job trying to keep them up and let them know there are better days ahead, and keep to the grind.
You know, it's interesting with Thunder Basin coming into play last year, and it almost feels like Campbell County is the new school on the block with the defections, so to speak, that happened last year over at Thunder Basin. But do you feel in some respects that you're like South High, you're the new kids on the block in the Class 4A ranks?
Yeah, to some extent. I mean, luckily we had, a program in place and some history, unlike South did. I know how tough that is, and it's never easy building a program from the ground up. But yeah, there were things in place that we weren't quite the new program, but in a sense, yes, we were starting with players with little to no experience, and it's just like any rebuilding process. It takes its time and patience and belief in the process, and I think those kids are doing those things right now. So.
What about the improvements that you're starting to see on both sides of the football? Obviously, defense probably molds quicker than the offense, but where are you seeing those fruits of the coaching staff's labor?
For the most part, it's just kids maturing. Defensively, schematically, kids are a little bit more sound this year. They're still green. I mean, we're still playing a lot of sophomores, and a sophomore at the varsity 4A level in Wyoming is tough at any time, and so that experience definitely shows. But their familiarity with the scheme that we have, that's where we've seen a lot of the improvement is kids feel comfortable in what they're doing a little bit more, and now it's just getting them to be confident in their abilities. The mental thing is almost there. The physical thing, we just got to shore that up quite a bit and spend more time in the weight room in that. On the offensive side of the ball, same thing. Schematics and truthfully, offensively, we've done some good things here and there, and our Achilles heel has been finishing drives and not shooting ourselves in the foot with drive killers and the penalties that have occurred on opportunities that we've had. So,
we look ahead towards the game against South High, and I've had South already once this season against the Shiny Thunderbirds, and saw that maturation process with the Fighting Bison, just simply for the fact that they gave East all they can handle, especially with that flex bone offense. They go to Rock Springs, they pick up a win, then they get felled by a couple of injuries, and then the bug that has been going down and around here in southeast Wyoming hit the ball club. So, you look at this game coming up against the Fighting Bison. They do pose some problems, even though they've been down and out for about the last couple of weeks.
Oh, absolutely. No, they, that offense, anytime you play that offense, Rock Springs runs a similar scheme, and if you're not disciplined and assignment sound, you're going to get exposed, and having played Rock Springs already, the kids have somewhat of an idea what's coming at them. South does do a few things different and gives you a few more wrinkles to that offense, and so no, our kids they've definitely got a formidable opponent, and regardless of the bug and things that are going down there, I know South's a much improved team. Like you said, they beat Rock Springs, and their coaching staff does a great job of getting those kids ready to play every week, and so no, we're definitely got our hands full this week.
And finally here, Coach, to ask the question of the day, a win for the Campbell County Camels right now at this point in the program's history. Tell us how important that is to you.
Well, I think it's huge. Anytime you can get kids to finally realize that it can happen and does happen, it just advances that rebuild even more and gives them some faith in the process and in themselves, and nothing's better than a win. Win fixes a lot of things. So
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Boys, this halftime score is not indicative of our talent level. We're a lot closer than I thought we'd be, and old Coach has just the thing to get us over the hump. Street tacos from Taco John's. You can get them with chicken or new sirloin steak or pork carnitas. That's a triple option of awesomeness. Let's go get some.
Get 3 street tacos for just $5 at Taco John's.
Hustle up, boys. If we leave now, we can be back for the fourth quarter.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Perotti inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Roger's already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Roger's RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame.
Let's play ball!
You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
About ready to wrap up hour number one. Thank you again to Mark Puev, the South High Athletic Director, head coach Dan Gallas at South High, the Fighting Bison's head coach, and, of course, most recently, Micah Christensen, the head coach of the Campbell County Camels, who, you know, when I was chatting with him, Nick, it's interesting, too, because he's been on that assistant side where they've had the success, winning, you know, not necessarily winning state championships, but, you know, on the football side under Vic Wilkerson, they were a very good football program.
They were also, too, again, pulling in. Again, it wasn't splitting between two schools. It was just Campbell County, and that was it.
But, you know, the thing is now,
obviously things change, and clearly they got the worst of it, at least on the football side of things.
Well, and after Vic,
you got to learn and adapt.
Vic Wilkerson just kind of saw the writing on the wall. Even his son went over to Thunder Basin last year, wrap up his senior year. So a lot of the kids said, you know, we'll go to the new place, and, you know.
Do you blame them? Why not? Go do something that's fresh, clean.
Yeah, well, and the few of them that did hang kind of took their lumps. And again, too, this is
they're still taking their lumps. They have yet to win.
This is a football program. These young men that are freshmen, sophomores, and no different than when South first broke in. But the thing is, these guys are going to get kicked around because a lot of teams, a lot of coaches haven't forgotten what Gillette or Campbell County did back in the day under Vic Wilkerson. They never took the foot off the pedal on you.
Anyways, let's go through Class 4A really quickly right now as we're almost to the top of the hour. But we'll start with game number one. This game will get kicking off at 7 o'clock up in Casper. It will be number one Natrona County. They will host Cheyenne Central, the Indians. A little factoid for this contest, the visiting team has won each of the last 3 games. So, i.e., does Central keep up that trend coming up this week?
Central won 2 years ago up there 5-0 opening night.
Well,
5-0.
Anything can happen on a Friday night. We'll see if Central can pull off the unbelievable upset there in Casper, Natrona. It's going to be a tough one, though.
And I'm sure that Coach Harshman, and matter of fact, we've had that conversation with Chad Goff, where they don't forget certain losses.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that Steve Harshman will remind his kids that better not happen.
But again, it's a trend of at least the visiting team in the last 3 contests have won on the road. So we'll see if Central can continue that trend coming up this Friday. This game will kick off at 6 o'clock. It will be number 2 Thunder Basin. They will travel to Casper as well. They will take on the Kelly Walls Trojans. KW leads this series 2-0. I think that's going to change coming up this Friday at Thunder Basin. As we know, they are for real. At least Kelly Walsh again coming into this contest 2-5, not the team that we thought they were going to be. Yeah, I think Thunder Basin takes care of this in a convincing fashion as they've been doing throughout Class 4A this season.
Yeah, you know, even though it's at Harry Gilding Stadium, right now the Kelly Walsh Trojans got some problems. Teams now, the better teams in Class 4A are finding ways to shut down Spiegelberg. Matt Hayes, quarterback, is not in there right now. Coventry's been taken over. He's a sophomore, so obviously I'm not sure if Hayes is hurt or whatever the case may be, but you know, you could tell the team's just got a different flow about them. And John Vance has got some problems. And right now, this team, not so much that they're in jeopardy of not making the playoffs, but right now things are starting to look a little grim there with the Trojans.
We'll see what happens on that contest. Their game, at least the third game of Class 4A, will be number 3, Cheyenne East, the Thunderbirds. They'll travel to Rock Springs to take on the Tigers. That also, too, will kick off at 6 o'clock. East has won the last 2 and have also won 7 of the last 8 between these two. So in this contest, the interesting little factoid as well, too, is it will be the return of one Graydon Buell back to his hometown of Rock Springs to hopefully put a whipping on the Tigers coming up. And I think same in this contest. I think East should easily take care of Rock Springs as much as it's on the road. You said the same thing with South going on the road against Rock Springs, that they'll have their difficulties. I don't see it with this East team either. I think they take care of business. They take care of it. It's not a close contest, as probably what you might think.
I'm not worried about it being close. I'm worried about the Thunderbirds coming out and being consistent. If the Thunderbirds are consistent, they should mop up the turf.
Thunderbirds are getting there. There are still some difficulties.
I understand.
We saw how many times they were called offsides, and that might be something that Rock Springs, especially using a hard count, he still bites on that. We saw it how many times against Cheyenne Central. So if anything, Rock Springs might look to at least utilize that a little bit and try to get those extra penalty yards against the against the Thunderbolts. Thunderbirds, I get Thunder Basin and Cheyenne East mixed up here. But anyway, so with Cheyenne East in this contest, as much as it's on the road, hey, you're coming off a great win against Central last Friday. This one, yeah, I think East convincing fashion. I think, again, this is a team that is improving week by week. They're eliminating penalties. It's a small chunk, but they are trying to get back into that. They're trying to get to that near perfect team.
The only thing I add to the fray here is that East has won 7 of the last 8, but the thing is, in this series, they've all been close. That concerns me. I would like to see the Thunderbirds win this one going away.
See how many times we've seen East this year. I'm not too concerned about this contest. I think East should take care of business. Also, too, happening this Friday at 6 o'clock, it will be number 5 Laramie. They'll travel to Sheridan to see the number 4 Bronx. Sheridan has won the last 13 against Laramie. The last Laramie win was back in 2005. Also, too, the Bronx are assured no worse than a number 4 seed with a win against Laramie coming up this Friday. This one, if I had to pick and choose, I got to go Sheridan. Sheridan at home, you just don't win. You don't win there against Sheridan at least at Homer Scott Field.
That wasn't even the thought that Sheridan should lose this one. Sheridan's won like the last 13.
That's what I said.
I don't see a reason why they shouldn't win their 14th consecutive game against them, especially at home. Again, they didn't play well against Cheyenne East, the Plainsmen. And again, you're matching up with a team that is in that echelon as East, as Natrona, as Thunder Basin. So, the Plainsmen got their hands full. Plus, it's a long road trip to Sheridan. I don't envy that either, and that just makes for a long night for the
final game. As we'll wrap it up here as we're at the top of the hour. But Campbell County again at Cheyenne South, 6 o'clock kickoff again. A game you will hear here on 1480 KRAE. Campbell County does lead this series 7-1. However, South did win last year on the road. But for the South High Fighting Bison, they have yet to win at home against the Camels. And in my opinion, again, South should reverse those fortunes and get that home win coming up this Friday. Again, in my opinion, I think the Fighting Bison will move to 2 wins after this Friday.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with that one. I like the Fighting Bison. If they play similar, and again, we didn't see what happened in Rock Springs, but if they play similar to the way they did against Cheyenne East in the first half, they're going to mop up the floor with Campbell County. Again, they're coming off the bug. They're coming off some injuries. So hopefully this team out of the flex bone will be able to just run past the Camels. They also can throw the football, too, from time to time. So the Camels will put maybe 1 or 2 scores in the end zone as well. But I like the South High Fighting Bison to win this thing, hopefully about 2-3 scores.
Hopefully. Anyways.
Yeah, I like to see them win big time.
We got to do our legal thing.
All right, well, you go ahead and do the legal thing. I want you to do it right now.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And it is hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, which is being brought to you by Marv's Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue. Suite D in the Greenway Commons, directly across the street. At 1508 Stillwater Avenue, it is the home of First Tier Bank, open Monday through Friday. Lennox Auto Body, 2 locations. Dunn Avenue for the Auto and Truck Repair Center and the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy, same location as always, not their first rodeo too. They've been there over on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse for umpteen years now. Platte Valley Bank, 2 locations, Vanda High Avenue, the original location, the east side location, corner of College and Pershing. Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way, 19s are arriving, and you've heard AJ talk about them. Well, it's time to move out the 18s, and I mean big time and fast. Get some sensational savings today. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range. We know them for lunch, we know them for dinner, and now get acquainted with them for breakfast. Monday through Saturday, corner of Windmill, Del Range, directly across from our friends over at Menards. Oh, by the way, remember Chick-fil-A this holiday season, they do some fantastic catering. Go to their website, CheyenneChicken.com. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service having their hail of a sale over on Highway 30. You need to stop on by. This is where the deals are even better than ever during their hail of a sale on Highway 30. And Taco John's with a plethora of locations here in Cheyenne. Great night not to cook. Matter of fact, every night's not a great night. Is a great night not to cook. So drop on by, get a 6-pack and a pound for this evening. Or there are 3 for $5 walking tacos, whatever trips your trigger. But make sure you do it over at Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we get hour number 2 off and running with our scoreboard. And it's brought to you by our very special friends at Pepsi of Cheyenne.
NHL action for tonight, as it will be a full slate. You will see the Boston Bruins hosting the Edmonton Oilers. That game will get underway over at TD Garden. Buffalo Sabres hosting the Colorado Avalanche. That game will get underway at 5 o'clock. KeyBank Center, you can see that game on Altitude TV. Florida Panthers at BB&T Center will host the Columbus Blue Jackets. Washington Capitals, after their victory last night against the Vegas Golden Knights, will travel to New Jersey to take on the Devils at Prudential Center. In Madison Square Garden, the New York Rangers hosting the San Jose Sharks. The Vegas Golden Knights will travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Penguins at PPG Paints Arena. LA Kings on the road in Montreal taking on the Canadiens. The Toronto Maple Leafs as well. They'll be on the road in Detroit taking on the Red Wings. That game will get underway at the Little Caesars Arena. Tampa Bay Lightning hosting the Vancouver Canucks. Calgary Flames taking on the St. Louis Blues in Enterprise Center. Nashville Predators at home at Bridgestone Arena hosting the Winnipeg Jets. And the Columbus Blue Jackets in Minnesota taking on the Wild over at XL Energy Center.
There is no baseball tonight. There is baseball tomorrow night, but there is football. From the National Football League on tap tonight in the Meadowlands, it will be the New York Giants playing host to the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. That will get underway around 6:20 our time on Fox. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
We We are working for the weekend, which means tomorrow high school football over at South High, as the Fighting Bison will play host to the Campbell County Camels. Only second time that we had the Fighting Bison this season, but we will get them against Cheyenne Central coming up.
We were supposed to see them 4 times, but again, the whole debacle of Kelly Walsh.
Yeah,
you know,
but that's
again, we try to make it out where we'd see every team 4 times, at least evenly. But again, the Kelly Walsh thing, we had to move over to Thunder Basin and just Cheyenne East. But other than that,
so well, we get to see.
We'll wrap up the season.
We get to see a new foe, though, in Campbell County. But again, one game at a time, as they say, for the South High Fighting Bison. Got to beat the Camels to give them 2 wins.
Yeah,
and probably will put them tied with Cheyenne Central, possibly either Rock Springs or Kelly Walsh. I don't have standings in front of me.
And for whatever reason, and just looking at the standings as is. I would assume it does not get determined by a coin flip. Hopefully, if for whatever reason, if South were to lose the Campbell County coming up this Friday, which again, in my opinion, highly unlikely, but for whatever reason, if South were to lose that contest, it's still not out of the realm that South could make it into the playoffs. As if Central were to lose as well to Natrona, that puts Central still at that 2 wins. South would still be at 1 with 1 game left to go between those two. South being at home next week hosting the Central High Indians. Hey, South, you win that contest, that puts you at 2 wins. You have that tiebreaker with Central. Again, hopefully there is no coin flip to determine that. You would just go off of that head-to-head contest, and South would have that other option. So it seems like there's 2 ways for South to at least still make it into the playoffs. At least there's multiple ways for them to still make it. So, but again, for South, I'm not saying it's a must-win coming up this Friday. It's more of a they should win. But if for whatever reason you don't, you still have opportunity. There's still a chance to make it into that 8 seed, 7 seed still for South High.
You want to win tomorrow night. You want to beat Central next Friday.
Yeah.
And again, you're on a 2-game win streak. So again, this is not similar to high school basketball, how well you're playing in February and March, but a little momentum will help you in the playoffs. Albeit, and again, right now, as of today, we don't know if it's Thunder Basin, Natrona, or East that you'll face off against in your first round, if you are like a 7th seed.
And that will be determined by a coin flip as well for those at least seedings if
everyone wins out. So
which East probably should. Natrona
they
probably
got Sheridan
should.
Next week. Sheridan's always been tough on.
But again, it's at home. We already saw East take care of Natrona at home. Sheridan, I think East should take care of the Bronx over there.
But like I said, never take anything for granted. So we'll wait and see here. A lot of things will be answered as of next Friday night.
Things that will also be answered coming up at least this Friday in one contest down in Class 2A regarding the other teams here in Laramie County. Newcastle will travel to Burns to take on the Bronx. The Bronx who came off. Do you say it's an upset or?
I just say it's a big win.
It's a big win, but again, they're a class higher than Pine Bluffs, but they did at least defeat Pine Bluffs in the Battle of Laramie County and got that victory last Friday. So Burns coming off of that huge victory will play this Friday. That game will get underway at 6 o'clock. In this contest between Newcastle and Burns, the loser of whoever in this contest will miss the playoffs outright. So it is, for both teams, for Burns and Newcastle, it is absolutely a must-win, or it's win, and you're in. As simple as that. Moving down to Class 1A as well, looking at the other team in Laramie County, number 4 ranked Pine Bluffs after their 2 straight losses. They'll be at number 3 Upton Sundance. That game will get underway at 5:30 p.m. Again, it will be played at Sundance, Wyoming. A little factoid in this one, this is Upton Sundance's last conference game. The Patriots are assured of no worse than the East number 2 seed with a win, and Pine Bluffs can be assured of East number 2 seed with a win, and if Lusk loses as well in that one. So Burns looking to, as you talk, momentum to at least continue that.
Absolutely.
Especially at home, take advantage and get that win. Again, win and you're in for Burns. And for Pine Bluffs, after 2 straight losses, they just need to kind of lick the wounds and get back on that winning track for the Hornets out there.
And again, 2 setbacks. not a season makes. So again, as they go back to work,
I wouldn't doubt it's jarring though. Again, a team that's been they've known for
Used to
just
winning,
non-straight, it's just continuous winning streaks. But it is something that they can easily rebound. And
well, it's not so much easily rebound, but you have to get back at it.
Yeah.
Quit reading your press clippings and get back to what you do on the football field best. That is run the offense, run the defense, the way the coaches diagram it up, and get ready for your next opponent and just beat your next opponent.
Simple as it.
That's the way you do it.
So this Friday, again, a lot of
Maybe they'll open up their playbook over there in Pine Bluffs this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, this Friday, a lot of high school football action going at least on around the state of Wyoming. Also, too, here in town. Coming up this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the Cheyenne Stampede in their home opener series will take on the Dallas Snipers. Again, Friday's contest, 7:35 puck drop. Also, too, Saturday, 7:35. And then Sunday's matinee contest, 1 o'clock puck drop. Again, all contests happening over at the Ice and Event Center. And on top of everything is we got high school football. We got Cheyenne Stampede in action with ice hockey. But also, too, we do have the Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo happening over at LCCC coming up this weekend as well. Again, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, at least it will start time 7 o'clock. Same for Saturday, 7 o'clock. And then Sunday, they will get underway at 11 a.m.
You were given some free tickets yesterday. Did you do anything with those free tickets? I'm kind of curious.
What do you mean?
Well,
I set up a contest.
Oh, you did? Oh, you're giving them away?
What, you want them?
Well, now I guess not, so go ahead.
I was going to give it to you anyways.
I know, you don't give me anything here, but grief. Anyway,
don't even give me that. Anyways, yes, I did create a little social media contest on the Facebook side for Wyoming Sports Talk Today, which you can go find on Facebook by simply searching Wyoming Sports Talk Today, or it's facebook.com/WYO Sports Talk, WYO Sports Talk. Thank you to all who did participate over there. We, again, as we do have one pair for Friday's rodeo contest, Saturday, one pair, and Sunday, one pair of tickets to give away as well. And also, too, on top of that, pair of goodies to go see our friends over at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Delrange and Windmill will be attached with these prize packs as well. So, again, thank you to all. And as normal with Wyoming Cowboy tickets, when we do get Cheyenne Stampede tickets in, Wyoming Cowboy basketball tickets, same with the LCCC Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo tickets, we will go to the Fishbowl of Awesomeness to see who will be our winner. We'll go in just chronological order with Friday's rodeo to see who our winner will be. First winner will be Robert Andrews. Congratulations to you for Friday's pair of tickets. Winner number 2 for Saturday as well. I do want to preference that all winners will be notified on the Facebook side as well, too. We will tell you how to come by and pick up those tickets tomorrow to go see this rodeo action coming up this weekend. Winner number 2 for Saturday's pair of tickets will go to Brittany Hernandez. So congratulations to you, Brittany. And then for Sunday, the finals on Sunday, will go to winner number 3, Billy Adelman. So congratulations to you 3. Robert Andrews, you won Friday's pair. Brittany Hernandez won Saturday's pair. And Billy Adelman, you won Sunday's pair to go see the Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo.
And do us a big favor. Don't let those tickets burn, because we do appreciate Seth Gallas bringing those tickets in to us yesterday. And again,
along with Jose Arenas as well, too, there.
Yeah, but I mean, we want to thank everybody.
SID over there at LCCC.
You know, thanking all of the folks there for giving us these freebies. And you know, we've always had good support from LCCC, and by you showing up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that makes them feel a lot happier that you used their freebie tickets.
And again, if you were not a winner today, do want to remind folks, if you still want to go see the rodeo, it is $10 admission. You can purchase tickets at the door there at the LCCC Arena. Again, as well, with Friday, it is military appreciation, so if you do have a valid military ID, you do get in for free for Friday's rodeo action there at LCCC Arena. So, congratulations. So, again, we got rodeo in town, football, hockey as well. There's a lot.
We only have one team in town tomorrow. We only have South in town.
Yeah.
As far as football is concerned, because East on the roads, Central's on the roads.
I'm just saying, I've been thinking about this, of how folks go about doing it. It's you can either listen or watch to the South game, attend the rodeo, or either attend Stampede, and then probably Saturday you can flip and go. Flip, go to at least Sean Doobie or either Again, go see the Cheyenne
Saturday
Stampede.
and Sunday, your dance card should be open because the Cowboys are out of town. They're playing Saturday night.
And again, we'll be at CSU in New Mexico, but honestly, who would want to see
Don't punish me that I got to be there. Anyway, so we have Saturday stamps again and the rodeo on Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Both the rodeo and the stamp. So, you get your choices. You can go at least one Friday night and go to the other on Saturday.
And again, same with the Cheyenne Stampede. You can buy your tickets at the door there at the ISET Event Center or go online to CheyenneStampede.com. Search for at least purchasing tickets online, and there is, at least according to GM Mark Lentz, they have set up everything that it's now up and running, up and working fine, where you can purchase your tickets online if you so wish for this weekend's opening contest.
All right, we are going to take a timeout. We'll come back. Do we want to go to the National Football League? What do you want to do?
Do our Week 6 picks.
Yeah, let's go to our Week 6 picks. Why not? What the heck? We'll be back after these words.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Okay, good day in the weight room, boys. Remember, we lift weights for strength. For cardio, we lift weights faster. Wachowski, quit looking at your stomach, son. What you're looking for ain't there. If you want a six-pack, the easiest way to get one is at Taco John's.
Stop in for a 6-pack and a pound at Taco John's. Get 6 crispy beef tacos and a pound of potato olays, all for $10.99.
Let's Olay the day and go get one right now. Last one there has to pick up Mrs. Coach from jiu-jitsu class.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Cheyenne Regional Cancer Services now offers genetic risk assessment and counseling that may help determine your chance of being diagnosed with cancer. If you have a personal or family history of cancer, especially cancer diagnosed under age 50, you may benefit from a consultation to look out for your now and your family's future. For more information about our genetic risk cancer assessment and counseling service, please call 307-634-9311. There are a lot of things that can go wrong with your vehicle, and most of it is a minor problem. And John at Shine Auto Repair and Service knows the right way to get you back on track. So with temperatures heading south, now's the perfect time to winterize your car or truck. This can be done with a simple oil change, maybe a tune-up, checking the thermostat, brakes, and shocks. It's the little and important repairs that Cars has performed on all makes of vehicles now for over 25 years to keep you motoring along in any season. For an appointment, call 632-0498 or stop on by at 604 West Link Way. Shine Auto Repair and Service, open Monday through Friday.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly cloudy with highs around 44. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 29. On Friday, it'll be sunny with highs around 55 with the winds out the west at 10 to 15. And on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 35.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Thursday afternoon, Wyoming Sports Talk Today. It looks like we're finally going to see the sun breaking through tomorrow, mid-50s. I can live with that.
It says it's supposed to snow later in the day, so yeah, right.
Who knows? I mean, this has been the most idiotic weather that we've had. The only good thing about the weather, it's kind of put the fires out that were in the high country. Especially over in Colorado. It looks like most of them are all out now where it's just local fire crews taking care of the mop-up. So that's been the good thing about this weather. But other than that, it sucks. Let's get back to the 60s and 70s that we were enjoying there for a while. Anyway,
give me 100, give me 90.
Well, it's going to be mid-50s by tomorrow. So it's a lot different than it will be today, that's for sure. All right, we go to the football picks of the week. You have selected
football picks of the week. I mean, you want to add any more buzzwords? How about just week 6 picks?
How about week 6 picks? All right, your week 6 picks.
See how that's just smooth off the tongue right there. Week 6 picks.
It flows so well, right?
Better than your football pick of the week.
All right, let's just go to them. Don't bore me because when you talk.
Bore me again. Yeah,
you bore me when you talk. So let's
go.
Your
picks bore me, especially after what happened to you last week. Again, a pathetic effort. As I'm now charging back, I'm only 2 games behind you. Again, I just gave you a little handicap now, especially after last season of the just
you did give me a handicap. Because when I went to the hospital and was taking you home, they said, this is yours. And I said, it can't be.
I can only hope so.
I know they made a mistake. Anyway, so I was handicapped right out of the box.
When do you want to set that DNA test? I'm ready.
Let's go.
Anyways,
I don't even want to go through this.
Week 6 picks, as we're into it already here in the thick of it, but how it runs is we pick 5 games at random, my choosing of games that are kind of interesting in anything that kind of catches my eye, whether it is NCAA or NFL action, and we pick against the spread, or sometimes when it doesn't have a spread, we just do a straight pick 'em. And same with, at least with the NCAA contest, I do have little facts to go along with it. For those who are playing along with the home edition, you can at least maybe sway you in one way or the other. I don't know. Anyway, so we'll start with game number 1. It will be on Saturday. We'll start off with Minnesota, the Golden Gophers. They are 3-2, 0-2 in the Big Ten. They will be at number 3, Ohio State. They are undefeated at 6-0, 3-0 in the Big Ten. This will be at Ohio Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. 10 a.m. kickoff, and you can see that game on FS1. Now, the interesting little fact about this contest is Ohio State is a 29.5-point favorite. It is the largest point spread in all of Division I football. So, again, 29.5-point favorite for the Buckeyes. Now in this contest, Ohio State has the second longest winning streak in the FBS. The Buckeyes have won 11 consecutive games dating back to November of 2017. The Buckeyes lead the all-time series 44-7 against Minnesota and have won 9 consecutive meetings dating back to 2001. Largest Ohio State margin of victory against Minnesota is 69-18, and that was back in the year 1983. So Ohio State, the Buckeyes, at home, number 3, undefeated in Big Ten action. They are 29.5-point favorite at home. I'll go first in this one. I'm a believer in the Buckeyes, absolutely. As much as that is an absolute, just atrocious point spread, yeah, I think Ohio State can absolutely cover that. I'm gonna go with the Buckeyes.
The way the Golden Gophers came out with their win against New Mexico State.
Oh, boy. Guess what? Wyoming beat them.
They beat Fresno State.
Okay.
All right. Then they lose to Miami of Ohio.
That's not.
They lose at Maryland.
Yeah.
And then they get beat by Iowa 48-31.
Okay,
now you are matching up with a team called Ohio State.
Yeah,
you're
playing in a team that's in a different universe than the rest of the
and unfortunately, with all of the
and at home and at least at Ohio Stadium. Yeah, good luck. At least in the horseshoe in front of 100,000.
I mean, listen to these scores: Oregon State 77-31, Rutgers 52-3. TCU was a struggle.
Well, again, that was also to a top 25 team, and that was neutral site down there.
But they still put up 40 points and won 40-28. Tulane 49-6. They did leave by the hair of their chin against Penn State. They should have lost that one. So 27-26.
But they didn't. And
then they took it out.
Penn State was a top 10 team.
And then they took it out on the Hoosiers the next week, 49-26. So you're going 29.5 points with a Minnesota team. And Ohio State in the horseshoe, I'll take Ohio State. Yeah,
so
easy enough.
We'll agree on that one. Again, it is the largest point spread of all the Division I coming up this weekend. Again, at 29.5, we'll take that and both go with the Buckeyes. Game number 2, it will be number 15, Wisconsin, the Badgers. They are 4-1 overall, 2-0 in the Big Ten. They will be at number 12, Michigan, with the Wolverines being 5-1 overall, 3-0 in Big Ten action. This will be at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor, Michigan. 5:30 kickoff over on ABC. Michigan is a 9-point favorite heading into this contest. Now, the Wolverines do hold a 15-1 lead in the all-time series and have a 23-6 record in games played at Michigan Stadium. The winningest program in conference history, Michigan has compiled a 506-206-18 record during its 112th season of Big Ten Conference competition. Michigan has compiled a 6-2 record against Wisconsin in matchup, pitting top 25 ranked teams, including a 4-0 mark at Michigan Stadium. So very dominant force, Michigan, at least at home, taking on a Wisconsin team. Michigan 9-point favorite. I'll let you go on this one.
I'm gonna go with Michigan. And they lost their first game, and again, we are familiar with Jim Harbaugh. We know what kind of program he's going to put together. They lost to Notre Dame the opening weekend.
A very good Notre Dame team.
No one's going to take that away from them. But the common opponent between, I do believe, Wisconsin and Michigan is Nebraska, where Michigan won 56-10. And then you look at Wisconsin, where they beat the Huskers as well, but nothing compared to what Michigan did. Matter of fact, I think it was, 41-24. So you're giving Michigan 9 points in Ann Arbor. Yeah, I'm with Michigan on this one.
Yeah,
I'm a Jim Harbaugh fan. You know that.
Yeah, I agree with the Wolverines. Again, 9 points. Yeah, they should easily take care of business at home against Wisconsin. Nothing shows that this team shouldn't defeat Wisconsin. Again, they've had very close matchups in the past, but Michigan, yeah, you did have the one slip up on the season, but again, it was against a very respectable Notre Dame team. We know that the Fighting Irish are for real, and they're, again, in my opinion, I think Notre Dame's going to be one of those Final Four teams. But Michigan at home, same with Ohio, at least Ohio State. You don't defeat them at home. It's very rare. And just how dominant this team is in Big Ten action, yeah, Michigan, they take care of business coming up. Moving on, so we'll agree on that one as well, both going to Michigan. Game number 3, this will be a new one for us. It will be number 19, Colorado. The Buffaloes, they are undefeated this season at 5-0, 2-0 in Pac-12 action. They will be taking on USC, the Trojans. They are 3-2, 2-1 in Pac-12 action. This will be at LA Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, California. 8:30 kickoff on Fox Sports 1. The Trojans of Troy, they are a 7-point favorite heading into that. USC has never lost to Colorado in 12 meetings, but USC has never faced an undefeated Buffalo squad, except for when the teams opened the 1963 and 1964 seasons against each other. The Trojans have won their past 18 games in the Coliseum, including 13 straight at home against Pac-12 opponents. USC is 46-and-4 in all regular season games it has played following a bye week. So with that all being said, yeah, USC, I've believed in them early this season. I thought they were going to be a much better team that they're showing right now. Colorado has been a big surprise of what they've been doing, but I can't go with the home team on this one with USC. They've already burned me a few times, especially what we saw, that effort that they put on at home against UNLV, the Running Rebels, not even a great Mountain West team. But
they beat them by 22.
Yeah, but it should have been a lot bigger than that. It should have been a little lopsided against UNLV. But I respect what the Buffaloes are doing. Colorado on the road, yeah. I think Colorado wins this one.
SC has barely beaten Washington State, barely beaten Arizona. Then you look at Colorado, where they, they kicked CSU's butt. They got by Nebraska at Lincoln, 33-28. But after that, it's been, pretty much cakewalks. They did struggle a little bit against ASU, but Arizona State's supposed to be a little better this year.
Mm-hmm.
So in that conference, I think that the Buffaloes will probably win the conference. And yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to give USC the 7 points. I think the Buffaloes are at least a touchdown, the field goal better.
Yeah, so I guess we'll agree on that one as well, too, going with the Buffaloes.
We're going to probably agree on all of them, I have a feeling, this week. I don't think there's going to be much differentiation.
We'll see. Game number 4, moving on with Week 6 picks. Wyoming Cowboys, 2-4 overall, 0-2 in Mountain West play. At Fresno State, the Bulldogs, who are 4-1 overall, 1-0 in Mountain West play. They will be at Bulldog Stadium in Fresno, California, 8:30 kickoff time. And you can see this game on ESPNU. Fresno State, let's see, on Monday was a 19.5-point favorite. Well, it's trended down a little bit to today, where they're only an 18-point favorite against the Wyoming Cowboys. This Saturday's game will be the 12th meeting all-time between the Bulldogs and Cowboys. Fresno State does lead 6-5 after defeating the Pokes 13-7 last season. Again, a game that happened over in Laramie. Fresno State is limiting its opponents to a Mountain West best 15.6 points per game. Again, they are allowing Mountain West teams, or at least a Mountain West best, of 15.6 points per game, which also ranks number 9 in the FBS. Through 5 games, Fresno State has produced 16 takeaways, which ranks 3rd most in the country. With all that being said, and everything we've talked about already this week, I'll take Fresno. Easy, I'll go on this one. Yeah, Fresno, the 18 points. Yeah. Mountain West's top offensive team.
Right.
Their defense is one of the top in the nation.
And they had an off day against Nevada. They only scored 21 points, but gave up 3. You look at the Cowboys.
This is.
Go ahead.
Nevada's been kind of that team that's giving others a fit throughout, at least what I've been seeing through at least their contest going forward. Again, say what you will about this. Fresno, one of the highest scoring offenses, their defense allowing one of the fewest points. Sorry. If the Cowboys can't already score against teams that don't have top defenses, they're going to struggle. There's going to be no way they score points.
Since the 29 points they scored against New Mexico State, where the Cowboys' defense had a hand in that, they scored 19 against Washington State. They had, 13 at halftime, 10 at halftime? Can't remember. So this team does not score well. Scored 13 at Missouri. That was late in the game when they scored. They scored 17 against the powerful Wofford Terriers, 14 against Boise State, 13 against Hawaii. So what makes you think, even with Craig Bohl opening up the playbook, and they're playing a much better Fresno State team in Fresno, California.
They're playing a stingy defense that allows.
What makes you think with that open playbook there, Craig Bohl, that your team is going to score more than 15, 16, 17 points? Good for you.
It's not going to happen.
Well, you're still going to get dusted by about 20, 25 points. This thing could be about a 42-14 contest. I hate to say that because I love the defense. Unfortunately, the defense is going to be put in predicaments because the offense is going to continue to do their 3 and out consistently with the open playbook. So I want to hear the excuse of one Craig Bohl. I would like for them once to put on Brent Vegan, the offensive coordinator, on the press conference. Understand?
Don't want to hear it from him.
I want to hear from him because I want to know what the hell game he's watching up top, because he sure is not watching the same game we are.
I don't know.
So anyway, my point is, I'm going to take Fresno State in the 18 points. I think this one could get ugly, and especially late in the game.
I don't say it's a could. It's going to be. This is something that if you had to put a for sure in front of, this is that game where for sure Fresno cruises in this one against the Cowboys. Again, how they're going to even score against this team. They've struggled against every other team except for New Mexico State, who is, again, as we're understanding, the Aggies are really nothing. They are pretty much a pathetic team. If you barely score offensive points against teams that are kind of average or a little bit less than average, now you're taking on one of the nation's elite defenses, one of the nation's elite offenses. Good luck.
Well,
good luck.
Where we almost hear the ever lovely comment, the cavalry is coming.
Cavalry's on retreat.
For Craig Bohl, this could be Custer's last stand. This could be the battle. Never mind.
I'll give you a 2 out of 10 on that pun. Anyways.
Well, but it could be Custer's last stand. He could be done and over with.
You're already ahead. Don't. All
right. Well, anyway, this one is going to be Fresno State. And it's not going to be.
So we agree on that one. So we are 4 for 4 and agreeing. We'll go with Fresno State.
I think we're going to agree on the 5th one too.
Yeah, I think so. On Sunday, we'll go to NFL action. It will be Sunday night contest with Kansas City Chiefs 5-0 at New England, taking on the Patriots, who are 3-2. It will be at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. 5:20 kickoff on NBC. New England, the Patriots, 3.5-point favorite in this one. I assume you went the same way as I did. Kansas City, they continue the win streak.
Well, yeah, and I think this is going to be the anointing of Patrick Mahomes as the new quarterback to keep an eye on the block, because
he's already been anointed that.
Yeah, well,
he's anointed that 2 weeks in.
Even in Foxborough, in the home that Tommy built. Basically, it's going to be the Chiefs' offense that's going to run past a very fair defense for New England at best. And again, too, will New England score points? Sure. But this one could be New
England will score, but Chiefs will score a little bit more, as they've been doing. Granted, they had their little issue with the Broncos, but again, I read that more into rivalry and, again, on the road against Denver. But Kansas City... It might be. I don't anticipate that Kansas City wins by 10 or anything. It might be a 3, 4, 5.
Oh no. I think they win this one.
I think it'll be close.
I think if Kansas City is going to prove to everybody they are the Super Bowl bound Chiefs,
there you go.
Then what they're going to do is they got to do a little punishment on the Pats. I figured by about 13 in this one.
I don't know about that. I think it'll be a little bit closer because, again, you just give that advantage of just being at Gillette Stadium. New England knows how to play very well there in front of its home fans. But I think Kansas City is a much better team, and yeah, they'll get the win in that one. So we'll agree on that one. So recapping again, Week 6 picks, which will be posted on 1480KRAE.com. Again, go under Wyoming Sports Talk today. It's on the little sidebar there where it says weekly picks and standings for Week 6. Again, we'll both agree on the Ohio State contest. We'll both agree in Michigan. We'll both agree with number 19 Colorado, the Buffaloes. We'll both agree with Fresno State, and as well, we'll both agree on the Sunday night game with Kansas City. So that is a quick recap, and again, standings, picks, all that fun stuff, again, archived on 1480KRAE.com.
All right, we got to take a time out. We'll come back. Nick handed me something here on the baseball side. Also, a couple more tidbits on the Cowboys and the Bulldogs coming up Saturday in Fresno. We're back after these words. Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Hop into the KRAE Time Machine each Monday through Thursday for the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480KRAE.com.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Go Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Perlotti along with Nick Perlotti.
You're just a comedy of errors over there.
No, I don't know
it's
how
like
that
I gotta
happened.
babysit you.
Do you really want to?
Do you? Yeah. Don't even throw that because again, it's on camera. I will take that to the CPD.
You take the CPD? Well, believe me, I know more guys there than you do.
Yeah, please.
Going back to the Cowboys Bulldogs. This game again in Fresno, California, and thanks to the Wyoming Sports Information Department, passed along some tidbits here. Wyoming's defense put together one of its best performances of the season against the Rainbows last week. They held Hawaii to 17 points. That's 25 points under their season average. They limited the Rainbows Warrior offense to 304 yards of total offense, 191 yards under their average of 495.
What are you trying to pull for positives right now? I mean,
I'm just throwing these things out of here. I get them, I read them.
Again, defense, I give them credit, but again, they went against not the starter, at least starting quarterback. It was a freshman.
They only allowed Hawaii 148 passing yards, the freshman. That's 203 yards below their average. They generated 2 takeaways, 1 interception by defensive end Carl Granderson, a fumble recovery by nickelback Tyler Hall, who also forced the fumble by ripping the ball out of the University of Hawaii's running back's arms. They scored their first defensive touchdown of the season, 61-yard interception return, pick 6 by Granderson.
Yeah, again, listen as you talk about the defense, but the offense does squat.
Yeah, it doesn't say much about the offense here. Broke up 5 Hawaii pass attempts, tackled Hawaii players for 7 tackles for loss for 22 yards.
And this is nothing that surprises any of us. It shouldn't, because, again, we know the defense is very good. Again, we can give all the credit in the world. I think absolutely this defense, as much as it was hyped up in the preseason, it's trying to live up to that hype. Again, it kind of gets a little under the 8 ball again, where they are just that group, that core, there just has to be just absolutely gassed at this point. And I'm not even saying just per game,
all right,
but I mean just they're playing just beyond. They're playing, that defense is pretty much giving in 150%.
You know, an interesting stat here that was handed to me: senior wide receiver James Price is having one of his best seasons as a Cowboy.
Okay,
he's already caught 12 passes in 6 games for 236 yards and 1 touchdown.
He's averaging 2 a game.
That's right.
2 receptions a game.
By the way, his 236 yards leads the team.
Yeah.
His 1 TD reception for 72 yards, the catch and run against Boise State in Week 5, averaging 19.67 yards per reception to rank number 28 in the nation in that category.
I now know what to dress up for Halloween as a scary entity. I dress up as the Wyoming Cowboys offense after hearing those numbers. Oh, boy. That is terrifying.
That's not even funny.
I thought it was.
No, it wasn't.
You put up a little stupid pun.
On the laughometer, you got a -3.
You don't decide what is funny. Again, I am the ultimate decider. Again, I thought that was pretty good.
No, it wasn't funny. You could have said
how about this? What's funny is that Cowboys offense.
You could have said I dress up as the offensive coordinator for the Wyoming Cowboys. That might have got a laugh.
No, that again, you dress up as the Cowboys offense because it's frightening.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll move along.
Yeah,
so
you just take all the fun out of everything.
Yeah, I have to because you're not funny. Looking, yes. Anyway.
Says you. Have you looked in a mirror? Granted, they break every time you look into one.
That's right. That's why we're going to get it all fixed up here.
Better
in
fast.
About a month and a half.
I don't know how much my stomach can handle it. Continue on. Anyways, though, you got a Dodgers story here that
you gave me the Dodgers story because I know how much you hate the Dodgers.
It came out earlier today as findings from well back in 2015, or at least it's a incident that happened back in 2015, but now has been it's bubbled to the surface now here in 2018.
And it's amazing too because all of this in this day and age, especially of I don't want to use the words 15 minutes of fame, but this is pretty.
It's in the day and age of the Me Too movement and everything. Yeah. And again, this is not saying the player is guilty or innocent. Again, obviously we've seen many stories.
Well, he was accused of sexual assault.
I'm just saying he has not been proven guilty of anything. I'm just saying you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. We've seen where entities have lied about that situation or been truthful. Again, it's neither here nor there, but again, it came out at least earlier today, findings that Dodgers secretly harbored a player accused of sexual assault, a minor leaguer.
The organization now, the Dodgers organization.
Yeah, that hid, again, it was a minor leaguer that was drafted out of Latin America. Basically was... The findings was back in Arizona back in 2015. A maid was allegedly sexually assaulted by this minor leaguer player for the LA Dodgers. It's just interesting that now this has kind of come to light here 3 years later. But even reading through the story, especially of what we're hearing kind of recently of stuff, it almost, I'm so jaded by everything of what's happening in recent light that it does not surprise me that this now finds its way into baseball with a pro team. Again, kind of the same thing of what happened with, for instance, you look at the NCAA football, look with Ohio State, what happened there? Again, that right. Not necessarily sexual assault, but again, more of just physical abuse with that a coordinator, a part of Ohio State that was basically kept secretly.
Unlike Dave Roberts, who do you hold responsible? Magic Johnson? Who do you hold? If the Dodgers organization, and that's the guy up top.
Well,
beyond Dave Roberts,
I think if you hold true to what Ohio State did, where again you look at your head coach, you look at your main man of that roster. You do, at least at that point in time, I would say, yes, you would have to look at your manager at time. Again, Dave Roberts or 2015, was it Madeline at that time? Or was it Dave Roberts?
That was Dave Roberts. He was
All right.
there.
All right.
Well, here's the deal.
I'm just saying.
Major League Baseball is going to stick their nose in this now, and somebody's going to get punished for it. See, the thing about Major League Baseball, whether you like it or not, under the Manfred regime, since he took over from Bud Selig, they do dish out the punishments.
Yeah,
and they dish out.
They're not afraid to.
Yeah, they dish out the game's punishments. So if it is somebody that is an executive or a manager of the minor league franchise, or there will be a fine against the Dodgers organization in general for, secretly hiding this.
Yeah.
Then heads will roll. Like they did, they don't do it.
I guess I retracted what I said earlier about Dave Roberts because, again, I keep on forgetting that he was a minor leaguer. He was not part of the Dodger system, but he was a minor leaguer, part of the Arizona, at least, minor league team that the Dodgers, at least at Arizona, kind of fall ball. So it would probably fall on the Arizona manager who is at least out there who should be at least taking care of this, or at least should have did something about it at that time when he knew about it. But
so the bottom.
But
line,
it does trickle up though towards at least Dodger.
The Dodgers are, I think, just because of the sexual assault, and
again, it's accused. It's not
accused.
Yeah.
And we don't know. We don't even know if this thing's gone to court. We don't know what has been settled. Whatever.
Again, this is just bubbling to the surface today.
Yeah, and what's going to happen though? If the Dodgers did do all this, the organization is going to be fined.
You would hope so.
And whoever was running the club with this kid that was on, and I'm sure he will be suspended or probably end up going to jail because sexual assault is a crime that will put you behind bars. But I would assume whoever allowed this to be swept under the rug probably will face a severe suspension, whether he's with the Dodgers organization or not. And again, we don't know if this person is still with the Dodgers. We know the players. Player's no longer with the organization.
Yeah, he's not with the organization. He was signed I do believe, a year.
They got rid of him.
Yeah, they got rid of him, but they did keep him on, though, again, under the findings by, I do believe, an entity out of the Daily Beast. They found that the player was still connected with at least that Dodgers Arizona team for quite some time after it was brought to their attention of the sexual assault, at least the accusation. But he was still a part of that team for about 3 months afterwards, after they did, or at least it was brought to their attention. So again, kind of doing that harboring of that player where they probably should have said something and stepped up and said,
this is what gets me. This is what really bothers me in this day and age. Again, the word sexual assault. Again, he's accused of it. Has not, hasn't gone before a jury. But the one guy here, Roman Barinas, the Dodgers manager of international scouting, wrote in an email, he crossed the line and is extremely lucky he's not in jail. The guy, if he did commit that crime, should be in the Who Scout.
Yeah.
Why are we even debating this?
Yeah, if you think he should be in jail, then why isn't he?
Where's our thinking today?
I don't know.
A crime is a crime. And if you do the crime, you must do the time.
Yeah,
it's
and that's not a good thing where, again, that manager's coming out saying that stuff of where he should be in jail. Then why did you keep him a part of that organization?
That is the most idiotic statement in the world.
Why did you not step up and say something about it? Why did you not bring this to the light of attention and say, yes, please, someone investigate this. He does need to be taken care of. And, again, we need to determine if he is guilty or innocent.
But he was never charged with a crime. That's what it says here.
Well, again, they swept it under the rug. They just said, well, hopefully it'll go away. Well, guess what? It didn't go away, and now it's surfacing here 3 years later.
All right, well, we got to get off of this story.
Could it happen to a better at least a better frange, to the Dodgers?
I'm sure it's not going to be the first story that we have coming out.
It's not the first, and it's definitely not the last.
In this day and age. Tomorrow, it will be the National League Championship Series, and it looks like
we do need to take another break. So
I know we'll take a break here in just a second. And it looks like the Brewers have decided to go with Gio Gonzalez, former Athletic, former National, who was sent over to the Brewers. So he will get the call in the NLCS Game 1. I think that's a good call by the Brewers, just simply for the fact, you're going to get at least 6 innings out of Gio.
You would hope.
He's pretty consistent.
I mean, they weren't tested in that series against the Rockies, so they should be all very well rested and everything. But, I mean, Gio, he is we've seen Gio, especially with that nationals team, who has been, at least he's exited early in some games. He's lasted. You don't know. Gio Gonzalez is that kind of pitcher where you don't know what to expect. I put him on the same length of a Zach Greinke, where he can be great, but then there are instances where he just comes out and it's not the same guy.
But the trade that the Brewers made with the Nationals was probably the best change of scenery for Gonzalez. He was dying in Nationals Park.
Everyone's dying there watching.
But anyway,
clearly.
but Craig Counsell basically said Gonzalez is 3-0, 2.13 ERA, and 5 starts with the Brewers after being acquired in a deal with the Nats.
Yeah.
So I
go with your hot hand.
Yeah, you go with that guy's throwing BBs right now, and the Brewers are going to face Clayton Kershaw. So I think you probably got your marquee pitching matchup.
Well, you have two pitchers that know each other very well and know each other at least well in the playoffs as well, too. They've seen each other, so
especially when Gio was a Nat. All right, so anyway, Game 1 tomorrow with the Dodgers and the Brewers. Game 1 will be in Miller Park, as well as Game 2. Game 1 with Boston and the Astros will get away Saturday, and that will be at Fenway. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll get ready to wrap up the program after these words.
Totally transformed. The new 2019 Kia Soul has an eye-catching exterior with an interior to match. I'm A.J. Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. The new 2019 Kia Soul has more to choose from, like available cool ventilated seats or heated seats for winter comfort. Kia Soul also has available technology like UVO, voice command navigation, automatic temperature control, and smart key with push-button start. Come by and compare Kia Soul today at Kia of Cheyenne or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. They have a 16-month CD at an annual percentage yield of 2.33% and a 27-month CD at an APY of 2.74%. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company invites you to join them and many others for the second annual Fall Halloween Festival Farmers and Crafters Market. It's Saturday, October 20th from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. The entry fee is only $5 per carload, so load up the family. Enjoy a full day of fun, including hay rides, crafts for kids, face painting and tattoos, balloons. So make sure the kids wear their costumes to this event as well. You can also pick out your favorite pumpkin and buy strong corn stalks. Plus, inside you'll find fall and Halloween gift items. Most importantly, visit the many vendors and crafters and check out everything that they'll have to offer. Hungry? Don't worry about that. Riverbend will have plenty of food trucks available to suffice the heartiest of appetites. We'll see you Saturday, October 20th at family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company for the second annual Fall Halloween Festival Farmers and Crafters Market on North Yellowstone Road in Cheyenne. For more information, please call 638-0147.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly cloudy with highs around 44. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 29. On Friday, it'll be sunny with highs around 55 with the winds out the west at 10 to 15. And on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 35.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Happy birthday wishes going out to former 49er quarterback Steve Young, who celebrates a birthday today. I do believe Steve is 57, made his mark first with BYU, then went to the Useful League, which I think were 2 years. I mean, he made a pile of money, but wasted career with the Los Angeles Express. Then went to Tampa Bay, where he died for 2 years, 85, 86, and then came to the 49ers, learned real football under Bill Walsh and George Seifert, and had a great career. I guess my question is to you in the closing minute that we have, if he would have came to the Niners right away, do you think he would have stepped in front of Montana?
No.
Montana learned under Steve DeBerg.
No. Simple no. Again, with Montana, what he again, yeah, if he came to the 49ers, or at least if he just...
It would have been a year later, because 82 was the year that they won the NFL or the NFC.
Montana, no. I don't think anything would have changed. It would have been more so. I think, if anything, if you retained Steve Young, or at least had him that long, you probably would have lost him to a trade. He would have probably not been a 49er in his later years, and then had that opportunity to win the Super Bowl when Montana was traded away to Kansas City. But no, nothing tells me that Steve Young would have taken that place over Montana anytime soon, especially there in the early 80s.
33,000 yards he threw for in his career. I do believe he wears 2, maybe 3 Super Bowl rings being a part of the 49ers. I think it's 2 that he has for sure. One that he got on his own by beating San Diego way back when.
94?
Yeah, that was a great year. Great year. All right, we got to wrap things up. Our last set of shows for the week for Golden Age Radio Theater coming up 8 o'clock this evening. Red Skull times 2, 8 until 9.